Hey everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie, I'm your host, and I'm so glad to be here. I want to let you know that if you are listening live, it is the 12th of September at 10 a.m. Pacific. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to also welcome you to the show. So much good stuff going on today, and I'm just really happy. I'm excited because it's 1-2 Day. And what 1-2 Day is, if you aren't as familiar with the 1-2 family around here, that means that we are over at 12listen.com celebrating all things 1-2. So that means that we have a fabulous sale going all day, and I have a couple of special deals for you as well, and I'll share them for you guys here in the chat room. But I want to let you know first that we are over in the chat room, and if you want to join us there, head over to 12radio.com, click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. So easy enough to find us, and I'm really excited to see you guys there. It is a private group. If you've not joined before, you'll want to ask for entry, and Christy will gladly let you in the room. So we try to have some layer of privacy around here, right? So that's what's happening. And of course, I want you to know that I will be over at 1-2 Listen for the rest of the day and evening to celebrate 1-2 Day. So if you need anything from me, that's where to find me, and I would be happy to help you out. There's all of that. Oh, the live stream. I'm also live streaming this event from our chat room on Facebook through Facebook Live, so you can watch it if you would prefer. I kind of like that. Sometimes I have a few things to show you, like cards and singing bowls and, you know, my smiling face, whatever. So if you want to check that out, you can find it there. I also do upload this later. The live stream, I upload it onto my YouTube page. If you're listening to an archive and wanted to see that, just head over to YouTube and look for Domestic Mystic, and you'll find that there. So there you go. So I hope that you guys are having a nice week. Fall is definitely in the air. It's really nice. I've been telling you guys that my sister Kara is getting married this weekend, and I am actually officiating her wedding, so that's kind of fun. But I'm also trying to help her right now to finish up the design piece. So in typical true bride fashion, and not bridezilla fashion, I'm not going to say that, but in true bride fashion, she is panicking. She called me last night panicking about several things that she's worried about or that she's not happy with. Currently it's the centerpieces for the tables for the reception. She doesn't like the plan she had, and she's in panic mode. So this morning I've been out picking up a few things to try to put together a new plan for her, or an enhanced plan to see what she likes. So stretching my own design skills and abilities to see what we can do to help her out. But I know that everything's going to be fine. This is just kind of what happens, right at the very end. So poor girl. So everybody sent a little blessing her way because she's just worrying. And I know everything's going to be amazing. They are getting married at a lakeside mountain retreat facility that is absolutely gorgeous. It's right on the banks of a lake, or an outlet to a lake actually, and it's way up in the mountains close to Yellowstone Park. So their leaves are already changing. It's getting pretty cool at night, and it is absolutely fabulously beautiful up there. So I'm so excited. Can't wait. It's going to be a wonderful time. So, and we actually have a big surprise, and I don't think she's listening, so I think I can tell you, but our son that's away at college had initially thought he wasn't going to be able to get away and come, and here at the last minute he is going to be able to come, but as far as she knows, he's not. So he's really excited to get to just show up and surprise her. So that's pretty cool. You know, we're a really close family, and we've all been kind of heartsick at the thought of him not being there. So he's going to be there. It's going to be great. So lots of cool things. So, you know, I'll probably share all kinds of pictures of this event anyway, but it's pretty fun. 6 kids. They have 6 wonderful kids between them. And I'm really excited to make them a part of the ceremony and a part of, a part of the day, because, sorry guys, I did put those sales up in the chat room in case you'd like to see them. One of them is the autumn equinox reading. I do this for every solstice or equinox, and we're a little ahead of the autumn equinox, but not by much, so I decided to go ahead and throw it in there. So you can head over to 12listen.com and find them under me, Katie Weaver, in my time-based sessions and my email-based sessions. So there's all of that. I love doing the video readings. It's just fun because we can, I don't know, somehow there seems to be a little more of a connection. And with a 3-month overview like that, I really like it because you can go back and listen to it as many times as you want. And sometimes that's really helpful because if you're like me, you just don't remember everything. So it's nice to have that to fall back on. Well, let's take a look at the magazine. You guys know that I publish a magazine at the beginning of each week. It is a compilation of work from myself and several of my colleagues over at 12listen, brilliant people that I work with. And so you can find that by heading over to katie-weaver.com and clicking on the Katie's Magazine tab. And that brings you to the cover. Just click on it and that will take you right into the pages. So I'm going to put a little link in the chat room here for you as well so that you guys can find it. I should tell you too, I should have good time today to do some readings out of the chat room. So if you need some energy work, a reading, some animal communication, a pep talk, a shot in the arm, whatever it is. I thought we might play a little with the vintage Wisdom Oracle cards today because I love them. I'm just feeling them today. Or maybe we won't. We'll see how the day goes, right? The one thing I know is that I'm not in charge. All right, so back to the magazine. We have our pretty fall cover going. I tell a story in the notes from me about something that happened here a few days ago. You guys know I've talked a lot about us putting up a lot of apple stuff this year. We have so many, and there's so many around us. And so Scott has put up a few 5-gallon carboys of apple cider vinegar. And those have some water, they have some sugar, and they have a lot of apples, like chopped apples. And some juiced apples too, but you kind of combine them all and they do their thing for, you know, an extended period of time. And then there you go. You have your organic, unfiltered vinegar that's so good for you. So anyhow, we had moved all of the vinegar into our bathtub of all places because, well, it's taking over the kitchen. And so I had asked him to move them on Sunday and he did. And I'm really glad actually in hindsight, but we went to dinner with my sisters, and when we got home, when I walked into my bedroom, the smell of the vinegary smell, the smell of fermenting apples was assaulting. And I discovered that one of those bottles had plugged up. So you put a thing on them. It's a rubber thing called a bung. You put the bung on it, and then there's an airlock, which is a little plastic piece that fits down in the bung that has water, or so you put vodka in it to keep it sanitary. But that bubbles, and it allows all of the gases to escape without, so you don't blow your bottles. So they're used in winemaking, beer making, vinegar making, fermenting of all kinds, right? So pretty standard tool. And at any rate, some fruit had managed to expand. This particular bottle is really rowdy, and some fruit managed to work its way up into the airlock and plug it. And so then it built up a bunch of gas and it exploded. So the bottle didn't explode. It exploded the airlock and the bung off of the bottle and exploded fruit, rotten apples, basically fermented apples, all over the bathroom. There was an unbelievable amount of it on the ceiling and the walls and just pretty much everywhere. It had shot, because we have an ensuite, so some of it had blown clear from the bathroom into my bedroom. I mean, it was a scene. It looked like a murder scene where apples were involved. And it took Scott quite some time to scrub all of those apples off of the ceiling in the bathroom. But at any rate, it's all okay. The vinegar was salvageable, and the mess is cleaned up, so it's whatever. But these things happen. One time when we were making a 5-gallon carboy, this is our problem, 5 gallons of grape wine. it exploded. We exploded one in the kitchen and shot grape wine all the way up the wall, all over the ceiling, all over the counters and the cabinets. It was an unbelievable mess. And it happened at about 2:30 in the morning. We heard it happen. It made such an explosion, such a noise that we heard it and came running out of our bedroom to see what in the world was going on out there. And there was fermented grapes everywhere. So, you know, it's fine. It's just, it's a thing that happens, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so that's been a bit of a mess. But that didn't slow us down because he managed to, in the last 2 days, juice another 5 gallons of apple juice to turn into hard cider. So I'm excited for that. We've never done hard cider before, so I'm hoping it turns out awesome. So there you go. That's what's new in my world. Yesterday I put up 12 bottles of hot pepper jelly. Have you guys ever had that? It's so awesome with cream cheese and crackers or on meat and stuff, you know, in cooking. That's amazing. And you can hardly buy it in the store anymore. It's hard to find. So I made a dozen bottles of it to have and to give away at Christmas time and stuff. So yeah, I guess it's fall, right? Just lots of preserving happening. A local growery, what do you call them? A local farm stand called today to say that our 3 cases of tomatoes are in. Scott likes to put up his own tomatoes. And there's a reason why. Tomatoes, because of their acidity in metal cans, in tin cans, they tend to erode the plastic liners that are in those cans. And it is believed that canned tomatoes are the most toxic food, or one of, because they have plasticine that has leached into the food. And so we don't can a lot of our own food or put up a lot of our own food, but we do tomatoes. So he'll do salsa, he'll do spaghetti sauce, he'll do just straight up tomatoes. But anyway, the tomatoes are here. So that's an enormous job, but it's so, so worth it. So anyway, that's all the domestic going on at this mystic's house. Well, let's move on to the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. This, of course, is a reading that I do. It's a daily reading to share. I put it up over on Instagram under Domestic Mystic as a daily reading on a postcard. I also put it up on my page on Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic on Facebook. So you can find it there. But I'm going to give you the whole rest of the week just so that you have a great heads up. So starting with Wednesday today, this is an important day to tie up loose ends. Complete projects that have been hanging over your head. Make the difficult calls, mail the bills, and respond to the emails. There is a lot of energy in completing tasks today. You know, there's a lot of weight in carrying things that need to be taken care of, need to be done. You know, sometimes, and I don't mean like creative projects, though there's some weight in that too, but I mean more things like if you really need to deal with something, you know, that some muggle issue that's weighing down on you, you know, this is a good day for it. Get it done and you'll feel so much better about at least having a plan moving forward. All right, Thursday, you need help. You have been trying to do everything yourself, and it is time to lay your pride aside and cry uncle. You may even be carrying some resentment for your coworkers, committee members, and family due to your workload. Diffuse that now by being realistic about how much you can accomplish and pass off some of your work. Friday. This is a good day to put yourself in motion. Your body is craving some physical movement. It certainly doesn't have to be hard work. It should be fun. Consider hiking, swimming, dancing, or even something more gentle like yoga or stretching. Whatever you do, have fun. And Saturday, there are no coincidences, at least not today. Pay attention to the synchronicities in your life. Magic abounds, and your manifestations are being heard. Be brave enough to talk to people showing up in your life. Be curious enough to ask why the same animals, symbols, or numbers are showing up time and time again. Do you ever have that experience where perhaps you think about someone or have a dream about someone or a recollection about someone that you haven't seen in a long time, and then you run into them the next day in the grocery store, or perhaps everywhere you turn there's a black bird outside in pictures that you're seeing online or in a book. Just, the synchronicities that show up. This is a magical time, so pay attention. I think that sometimes there's a coincidence. I hear people say there are no coincidences. I don't think that's true. There's coincidences, but there's synchronicities too. And you should always ask. Ask and check yourself. Check in with yourself. Is this a synchronicity? Is this something I need to be paying attention to? It's not life and death, but you might be missing out on some magic if you don't. Okay, Sunday. What is it that you have been dreaming of? Is it travel, a new relationship, a move, or even a new job? Whether you would like to learn to swing on the trapeze or teach kindergartners, your dreams are within your reach. Make a plan detailing the steps you will need to follow to get there and get going. It is time to follow your bliss. And sometimes that's where using a coach, an advisor, someone who can help you to check in with you, or that you can check in with and help you to stay on target, is really, really important. I think that sometimes we look at the mountain in front of us and we can't see the individual boulders that we could be moving to move that mountain. And sometimes it takes the perspective of someone else to say, well, okay, this sounds amazing. So let's get started and start breaking it down into smaller assignments. For example, if you want to go back to school, first you've got to decide where you want to go. Second, you've got to decide what you want to do, or maybe those are interchangeable. Then you've got to decide how you're going to pay for it. And then you've got to decide if you can work, if you need to work part-time, what to do about your job and your living situation. There's lots of decisions. I think a lot of people look at all of those obstacles and decide, no, there's no way in hell I can't do this. It's too much. When perhaps it's certainly not too much. It just takes putting one foot in front of the other. Sometimes it takes, if it was school, going to talk to a counselor at that school about your options. Filing for financial aid to find out what you can get to help you. We assume many things when we have big brick walls in our way. That's something I've learned a lot from clients and from myself as well, that sometimes we talk ourselves out of our dreams. I think frequently we talk ourselves out of our dreams because we have put obstacles or barriers in our way and we're not willing to see beyond them. Whether it's just too hard, it's the walls are too thick, or we just are too afraid to ask all of the questions. So if there is a dream that's rolling around in you that you're trying to work on, I highly recommend a mentor of some sort to help you get from point A to point B. Okay, there's that soapbox. And then moving on, Christy has our crystal guidance for the week. It is petrified wood. Petrified wood offers grounding and perspective, encourages wisdom and tolerance. This is a great one for for the U.S. right now, isn't it? Encourages wisdom and tolerance, offers grounding and perspective. Also seems like a good one for working on your dreams. All right, and then we have our card. She pulls us a card every week from her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck. And the card this week is Archangel Elohim. Elohim provides spiritual protection against psychic attack, dark entity attachment, and the root chakra. The challenge would be fear, avoidance, addiction, weak energy. The crystal is rainbow obsidian. And the meditation is, Dear Archangel Elohim, please surround me in a red ring of fire, protecting me from dark entity attachments and psychic attack, strengthening my energy body, and bringing me peace and safety. Yeah, that is, if you work with angels and you've never worked with Archangel Elohim, I can't stress enough to you how amazing that energy is and how much it will help you. His job is protective, but he's also all about helping with ascension. So if you have old stuff weighing you down, if you have weights tied around your ankles that are keeping you from moving on, work with him and let him help you burn them away. And if you need some help with that, I will definitely help you with that. All right, and then of course we have articles from Kai. We have Kai's Kaleidoscope. I loved her article. It's called The Voice. Not the voice on NBC, but the voice within you. What are you saying to yourself? What is all of the media going on around you? What is all of the communication around you? How do you sort through it? How do you hang on to what works and get rid of the rest? How do you speak to yourself in a way that you can trust yourself and ferret out what is true around you and get rid of the rest? She wrote a great article that's going to help you out with that. And then, of course, we have articles from Kelly McLean, and she wrote about adrenal fatigue, and oh man, read it. You'll find yourself, maybe you will. I hope you don't, but you just may. And I think it's really important to take a look at it. I feel like many light workers go through periods of adrenal fatigue because we're so sensitive to everything around us, because we're so exposed to toxins and pollutants in our world that I think wear our bodies down, and because we're so empathic that we're wearing everybody's garbage all the time. Sometimes I think it just begins to be too much for your body and your spirit to take. So I loved what she had to say about that. Then, of course, the tip of the week is allspice. That's right, yo. It is pumpkin spice season. And if you don't like that, that'll be fine. But that's enough out of you. Because a lot of us love it, right? Well, I had broken down years ago what are the spices in pumpkin spice and what are their magical properties. And so I'm going to share some of them throughout this next month. Allspice. Allspice is burned in Jamaica. It is good for money, luck, healing, compassion, determination, energy, fertility, gain, love, renewal, and as an aphrodisiac. Burn allspice as an incense to attract money and luck. And the way you do that, you could buy an allspice incense perhaps, or you get the little charcoal discs and you put them in a heat sensitive or heat safe dish, or like a metal container is really good for this. And you light the little charcoal disc when it gets hot, and oh my God, don't touch it. You will burn yourself half to pieces. But then you sprinkle a little bit of allspice on it. A little bit. A little bit's going to go a really long way. But that's the way to use it as an incense. So allspice. Cool. And you could do that with the whole berry, or you could do it with the ground allspice. Either way is fine. Alrighty. Then, of course, we have articles from Dr. Elisa, and she brings us this week. The heading of her article is Appreciate All of the Gifts in Your Life. Spend time each day appreciating all ways you are supported and loved and safe. I love what she had to say. I'm so happy to have her in the magazine and have her voice, because she has so much wisdom to share. And she gives us a lot of great perspective that we're benefiting from. So thank you, Elisa. And then our Magic Monday message comes from Melissa Caprio, who of course has a show here on Wednesday afternoons, Postcards to the Universe. And the message this week is, we are beach people and it is divine. And it's a postcard of being a beach person. I am not a beach person, but maybe I should be. I never really have that chance. And then lastly, Anita and the Masters. And Anita brings to us this week Archangel Raphael, which I felt was perfect, because of course we've just passed through the anniversary of 9/11, which is a big trigger for a lot of people in the US and throughout the world. And so Archangel Raphael is coming in to heal hearts, heal bodies, heal spirits. So Archangel Raphael this week. So that is the magazine this week. I hope that you found some tidbits of wisdom and that you have a chance to really read it all the way through. Really good, really good stuff. Okay, I'm going to jump back to the chat room here. Give me 1 second. Don't know where that cough's coming from. The last 2 weeks, I'm not liking it. Alrighty. Okay, good. Bringing up some good, good stuff here. Jan says I need to build a fermenting room out back. All tile and hose friendly. No kidding, right? Yeah. I mean, 2 explosions in all these years is not a bad number, but man, it sucks when it happens. It's good advice, Jan. And actually, Scott had been planning on moving these out into a little studio in our backyard that we use for storage, and had decided they were still too rowdy and didn't want to have any issues that he didn't know about, so he left them in the house. So thank God, or that could have been way worse. Now I don't even want them there. Greg says I'm the tomato mystic. That might be true. Jan says she's holding back on anything pumpkin until September 22nd. Well, now what a celebration that will be. Bringing in the autumn equinox with the pumpkin spice. I'll take it. Okay. Alrighty, so more questions. Oh, we'll get to all of the questions. I'm not going to hit them quite yet because I want to just do them all at the same time. So let's go ahead and do our reading for the week. This is from the Ground, Bless, Protect, and Move deck. Of course, this is my deck, and you can find more information about it over on my website at katie-weaver.com, but this is the deck I published with the Psychic Sisters. So, it's a 5-card spread, and we, of course, are talking about spiritual self-care and 5 different components of spiritual self-care and some suggestions to work on that this week. So the ground card is first, and ground this week is the tree. Perfect for this time of year, I think. So grounding with trees is so powerful and so easy. Sit with your back against a tree, or stand, or put your arms around a tree. Take a few deep breaths and allow your energy to slip down into the roots of the tree and intermingle with the tree roots and the community of tree roots. And let that ground your spirit into the earth. Easy enough, really, really easy and powerful to do. Now you know why people hug trees. They're ancient. They're amazing. They have plenty to tell us and help us with. The Bless card this week is the earth. Really important right now, I think. So how do you bless the earth? Well, if you're in the live stream, you can see the card. The card is a picture of the planet Earth with hands wrapped around it with white light pouring from them. And actually, this is exactly how I do this. That's why I designed this card this way. I did not do this. How do you say that? I commissioned the card, right? I don't want to make any false pretenses. I did not do the art in this deck, not in any way, shape, or form, but I did tell the artist exactly what I wanted for my portion. And the portion of the cards that I commissioned were the Bless cards. So, wrapping your hands around the earth. So sit in meditation for just a minute or close your eyes with me. And let's just picture holding the earth in your hands, wrapping your hands around it, allowing a powerful pillar of white light to pour down from the universe, pouring over your head, through your hands, and filling the earth with light. And you can decide what that blessing sounds like, right? Are you blessing the earth with peace? Are you blessing her with a higher frequency or vibration? Are you blessing all of the animals and the people on the earth? Are you blessing the water? Get specific. Think about, what does the world need now that you could bring to it today, tomorrow? What does your blessing look like? It doesn't have to be the same as anybody else's, right? But this week, as you are doing your own stuff, as you're doing your meditations or your prayers or whatever your spiritual practice looks like, give the earth some love. All right. The Protect card this week is the brick wall. And if you can see the card, you know, but if you cannot, it is literally a picture of a brick wall. So how do you use a brick wall for protection? Well, just like that. You know, we're always talking about bringing your walls down, right? Well, that's important too. But sometimes you just need to put a wall up. What about that jackass in your office that you absolutely can't stand? Maybe you've tried to love them into complacency. Maybe you've done your work and you still just are, their energy is like nails on a chalkboard for you. Or maybe they're just really actively rotten to you, right? I mean, it happens. I wish it didn't, but it happens. Sometimes people just don't like you. Sometimes you can do something about that. Sometimes you can't. I always kind of go back to the 4 agreements and that what other people think of me is none of my business. Now, if I have done something to hurt this person, then clearly I should do something about that. But I get this from you empaths a lot, about neighbors, about, in-laws, about whatever, former friends, about coworkers. Why don't they like me? Well, there could be a lot of reasons, Maybe you're too happy for them. Believe it or not, some people don't like that. Maybe your frequency is grating to them. Whatever. You don't always have to make people like you. Sometimes you should just put up a barrier and move on to your happy place and not worry about it. And that's where the brick wall comes in. So close your eyes with me for just a minute. And just imagine yourself throwing up a brick wall between you and someone that you truly want nothing to do with. Someone whose energy you want to completely separate from you. Yeah, that's okay. You do not have to feel guilty about that. Maybe you consider yourself to be a light worker. Maybe you consider yourself to be an empath. Maybe you consider yourself to be a highly evolved spiritual being. You probably are all of those things. But it doesn't mean that you have to like everyone. It doesn't mean that everyone has to like you. The way I sell it to my kids is you don't have to be their friend. You're not allowed to be cruel. You're not allowed to be unkind. You're not allowed to bully. But you don't have to be everybody's friend. That's okay. Have your friends. Be nice. Be helpful. Don't be an ass. But do not feel like every time there's someone who doesn't like you or doesn't gel with you, that is in some way your fault and that you have to be angsty about it and feel bad about it. No, you don't. Okay. Now, the move card this week is run. Now, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If I'm running, that means something is chasing me, right? I don't know about you guys. Probably not going to run, but I would walk, right? Move your body this week. That even came up in the domestic mystic stuff. So move your body in some way, some gentle way. Spiritual self-care is not about punishing yourself. Now, if running a 5K is your idea of heaven, of getting away, of having a moving meditation, by all means do it. But if this is torture to you and this seems like something you're not going to do in a million years, don't go hurt yourself. Don't do something that's miserable if you don't have some, need and desire to do it. I'm not telling you to do that. But move yourself. Go swim, dance, walk around the block, or go walk through a beautiful park. It's a good time of year for it. But do something that moves your body. Why? Well, because in spiritual self-care, your body is a prime place for energy to get stuck and held on to. So don't let it. Stretch, move, release all of that from yourself. And of course, a little exercise helps to boost up the happy hormones in your brain and sometimes can really help pull you out of a funk or a bad mood. So good tools to have. All right, and then the boost card this week is the Happy Distractions card. And I really love this card because this is permission to just have fun. You've got so much on your mind. This is a good time to distract yourself with something light. Read a good book, go to a funny movie, or do something else that you find fun and easy. Easy enough, right? It doesn't have to be a struggle. Just do something fun for fun. Sometimes I think we forget, like we have to have a special occasion to go have some fun. Well, no, we really don't. Sometimes it's just about doing something that you enjoy doing because you get to, right? Sometimes it's about buying some new clothes, not because you have to have them, but because you want them, whatever it is for you. I know everybody's different, but seriously, we just don't sometimes give ourselves enough nurturing. So anyway, fun. It better be fun, damn it. All right. So I thought our singing bowl work today should just be a nice full body release. I'm just hearing from a lot of you guys, you're feeling pretty stuck and stagnant and heavy, and let's just get rid of some of that. I think it's time to, right? All right. So we're going to use this big giant bowl. This is my biggest Tibetan bowl, my favorite bowl. Now this is actually in the note of D. It is the root or the sacral chakra, but we're not going to use it for that purpose today. I'm just going to play the bowl and ask you to allow the vibration of the singing bowl to permeate your spirit, just completely releasing anything you're carrying that isn't helping you anymore. Anything that's stuck, anything that's heavy, anything that you just don't want. Well, this is just a cleaning day. So I'll play the bowl, you just close your eyes and breathe and allow the vibration of the singing bowl to permeate you. And there we go. Good. So I'd be interested to know where you felt that release move through you. For me, I had a nice release in the top of my head and my crown, excuse me, in the back of my neck and in the very small of my back. So obviously places that I was holding on to some stiff, but I would definitely like to know how that affected you guys as well. Okay. All right, let's jump into the chat room and check out a few things here. Let's see. Oh, sorry, you guys. Me and my Facebook skills. Here we go. Eva says, I'm thinking about attending a workshop summit in my area. Not sure if it's going to be truly beneficial for me. Any advice would be appreciated. Let's look into it, Eva. I can see why you're wishy-washy on it, because what I'm hearing is that some of it really will. The associations with other people will be priceless for you. Some of the information will be useful. Some of it will really kind of go against your own core beliefs, and you won't really resonate with it. So, if you can go in the spirit of networking, of meeting like-minded friends, and taking what you like and leaving the rest, I feel like it will be beneficial. But that's kind of the only way. But otherwise, I feel like, you're going to go, why did I do this? But if that's the energy or the intention that you set to go into it, I actually feel like you'll enjoy yourself. And it would be good for you. It really would. I mean, you know, to just connect with other people that have maybe like-minded or similar beliefs would be amazing for you. So you decide how that feels to you, but that's what I'm hearing. And I think that's why you're a little wishy-washy, because all of the information won't be 100% on point for you. But honestly, it never is. That stuff like that. You hear great stuff and you hear stuff that you go, that's totally, you know, off the charts for me. But it's okay. Okay, Maureen says, my family is definitely moving and shaking, right? Holy moly. She said, life is calming down here a bit. Relationship issues improving. Excellent news. Still missing Megan, but so happy she is at school. Do you see finances improving now that we're working as a team? Maureen, I do. I have a mild hesitation only because I feel like there's still some time to be invested here. I feel like we're seeing kind of 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and it's going to take some patience to move all the way through this. But I actually do feel like by the end of this year, you're going to be breathing a lot easier and feeling like things are better. I also feel like you're going to find your partner being a little, not even a little, quite a bit more willing to go to bat for your family. And I know that you've been waiting for that. So it's good news, I think. Really good news. Okay. Shireen says, the lumps and bumps I found on our dog, Whitney, were diagnosed as mast cell tumors. The vet recommended excision, but we have decided not to slice and dice her and instead enjoy the time we have with her and the medications they recommended. I'm hoping Whitney's okay with this too, or if there's something else she would like us to do for her. I'm also concerned for our other little dog, Joey, who has not known life without Whitney. Please reassure him as well. Okay. Well, let's talk to Whitney. I guess we're talking to Joey first. I'm so drawn. All right. We're going to Joey first. Let's do that. Oh, good hell. Joey is so sweet. He is so, his little spirit is so cute. You just want to give him a million loves. What a little doll. And yes, you're right. Whitney is his everything. She's how he knows how to be a dog. Oh, sweetheart. Okay. So I'm just expressing to him, I asked him about how he feels. That I told him that we know that Whitney is sick. He says that her tumors get itchy. I don't know if you knew that. He said that they get itchy sometimes and it bothers her. So he's noticed. And he's fully aware that she's going to be leaving the planet at some point. He's just worried about being home alone. So I told him that you guys are all going to do everything you can to make sure that he has plenty of attention. And that, you know, you're all committed to helping him get through it too. Yeah, you're right about that. Honey, he's going to grieve hard. Poor little guy. So, but he knows that you guys are very aware of him. And, you know, down the road, he shouldn't be an alone dog forever. It's that bridge right now, but someday. Yeah. All right, so let's talk to Miss Whitney here. Oh, how she hates the vet. So I showed her the you know, she knows, obviously. She knows there's something wrong. She gets it. But I showed her the option of having surgery and having some things removed, and literally my stomach flip-flopped. And I felt like I would want to vomit. She really doesn't want to do that. I think that, Shireen, you're very in tune with her, and you're very aware of what she would want, because this is not at all what she wants. She doesn't want surgery. She doesn't want to have to ever go back to the vet again if possible. I told her that's probably not possible. But I did tell her that there would be a reward for going to the vet. So I feel like you're probably already giving her a treat when she comes home. You know that we're making it, there's a reward there. If not, let's build that in. She's easily bought. So that will help. Oh, poor lady. You know, she's really not in pain, though. I don't feel like she's suffering a lot. She's showing me feeling a little irritated. Funny how he said that her tumors itch sometimes. It's a really deep itch that like almost feels like you can't scratch it. But yeah, they're kind of bothering her like that. That's interesting. But she's totally okay with the course of treatment. She's not worried. She's not scared. And I feel like you're on target with keeping her comfy and taking good care of her at home. And she trusts you 100%. So she's all right. So I did ask her if she, Shireen said they both came in from the other room when I started talking about them. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Laura had a good suggestion. She said rescue remedy and homeopathic Ignatia can help with grieving for animals and people too. Yeah, definitely. Definitely for him. For sure. So we keep her comfy and happy, and she's okay right now. But I honor your choice, and I feel like it's a good one. All right, Kevin says, question concerning facilitating Reiki. I love doing it, but I've noticed that no matter how much I ground and clear before and after, I'm left with pulsating symptoms of my crown. Ever heard of or experienced this? Yeah. Yeah, and actually a lot of times I'll get it at my root, like right at my tailbone. But yeah, that's actually pretty normal. It's just a physical symptom of that much energy running through you. You know, and the spirit body is so light that everything shifts very quickly, but the physical body is so dense that it takes a lot longer for, you know, full healing or full clearing to happen. And when you're facilitating, so much energy is running through you, that's actually just pretty normal. I was just asking if there's anything you can do in case it gets uncomfortable. They actually, okay, this makes me laugh. The visual of it made me laugh, but I feel like putting a crystal like right on the spot where it's pulsating and allowing it to draw that out of you would help. So it just made me laugh because I had a great visual of you standing there with like a clear quartz point, pointed down into your head. But actually, that's what they're showing me, is to use a crown chakra crystal, like a good-sized clear quartz point or wand or an apophyllite, whatever you have that resonates with you. A selenite would be fine. And just place it and hold it in that spot and allow it to just draw that out. And that should help the pulsating to get better. So that's good. That's good advice for anybody that experiences that. I had a client, actually my cousin, has, when she does Reiki and for a while after, her right eye twitches, like just twitches to beat the band. It's really weird, but that's just her tell. That's how her body reacts to that much energy moving through it. It's pretty normal. Yeah. Shireen said she is on Benadryl, so that should help with itching. That's awesome. Good. And she's definitely food motivated. Oh, yeah. Yep, she'd sell her brother for a cheeseburger. I'm telling you. That's too funny. Okay. Greg says his brother Stephen came into his awareness during the bowl. Ah, well, that's usually a good tell to reach out a little bit or connect through spirit or however you choose to. Laura said she'd love some energy work for balance and head tension. Curious if it's my jaw or teeth or environmental. Yeah, let's take a look. It's your jaw, Laura. You've got some inflammation in your jaw. And I'm wondering if you're grinding at night or if you're clenching your jaws at night. But that's where I feel that tension. You might want to just talk to your doctor and ask about if they want to take a look at that or if they want to help you with a mouth guard. Or what I do, this is silly. Maybe it's not. It's not. This is brilliant. Okay. Because I clench at night sometimes. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. And you guys know I do a lot of weird dream traveling. And sometimes it's really weird on my body. I woke up the other night at like 2 a.m. and my right arm was straight over my head and like locked, my shoulder locked. I couldn't even get my arm down for like 5 minutes. It was killing me. It took me a long time to get my shoulder to release, because I do have arthritis, and to get that released. And I thought, I don't know what that was, except for that I wondered if something was going on in a dream. But then I woke up that morning after that incident and my left leg was locked. My knee was locked. and then I limped around on that leg for a little while. But I do that with my, besides obviously treating it. When I go to bed at night, if I've been clenching, I will say to myself, I will have a relaxed jaw. I will not clench. I'll keep my teeth relaxed, keep my jaw relaxed all night. And that actually works a lot of times really well. I know. Sometimes it's all a head game, right? But think about that jaw. But let's do a little releasing in it for you anyway. Somehow, some way, my friend, you need to be teaching. And I know you do some education stuff on Facebook. I know you've been working on some of the stuff that you're learning, but in some way you need to be expelling your knowledge to help other people. I feel like actually from an energetic standpoint, that's where it's coming from. So we have the physical and we have the energetic to work on here. Okay. Diana said, Chris said, felt the singing bowl expand my breathing. Nice. So it took something right off of your chest. Laura says the singing bowls were amazing. God, I love the singing bowls, man. Eva said that's exactly what she was thinking about that conference. It'll be interesting to hear if you go and what happens. Jean said, I love the singing bowls. I felt it in my heart and head. I feel much calmer. Thank you. Then mission accomplished, right? Reese said, I want to change my career a bit from what I was doing before. Taking online classes, but taking a long time to finish it. Am I doing the right thing? You know what? I actually feel like you are. I know it's taking a long time, and maybe it's time to evaluate if you could take take more classes at once, or take intensives where you can get, a big piece out of the way, in a more condensed setting. I would look into it and see if there's any ways to accelerate it, but I actually do feel like you're doing the right thing, and that you're not going to regret it, that you will be able to get a job in the other area of the field that you're going to really enjoy. And I feel like that job will actually see you through until retirement. So I think you're making a good choice here, either way. Okay, Greg wants to know why you would want to beat the band. That's a good question. Where did that saying come from? I don't know. Okay, Laura said she has a molar that needs surgery, and ever since had a consult with the doctor that she's been having headaches. Yeah, you'll get through it, Laura. I think you're going to get to the bottom of it. And Kevin has selenite. There you go. Selenite's so good, you guys, for crown chakra work. Well, here we did it. We've talked all the way to the end of the show. I do want to let you guys know that I will definitely be over at 1-2 Listen for the rest of the day and evening for 1-2 Day. Absolutely come see me. Also, you'll see me here tomorrow with the Psychic Sisters at 11 a.m. Pacific. There's a lot more great radio here to come, so be sure that you stay tuned. You're listening to The Katie Weaver Show on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.